Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys kind of a get ready with me featuring the things, well, some of the things I picked up during the Sephora VIB sale. If you did not see my VIB sale haul, I will list that right here in case you want to go watch that first. But I hope that you guys are excited about this one. I am super excited about these products. I very much am loving them so far. It's only been 3 days, but so far I'm really happy with them. If you would like to see them in action, make sure that you are subscribed to my channel, and then let's go ahead and get right into it. Alright, so I've already primed my skin. I went in with my Smashbox Primerizer all over, and then I took just a little bit of the Touch in Sol No Pore Bloom Primer. I just added that to kind of the center of my forehead and along the sides of my nose and down here kind of on my smile lines. Now we're going to go in with our first product. This is the Hollywood Flawless Filter from Charlotte Tilbury. I've been wanting to try this for a very, very long time, a couple of years actually. I'm really excited to finally have this. I've used it already. I used it yesterday actually, and I really enjoy it. I think the effect is subtle, but it's definitely noticeable. I used it under a lighter coverage foundation yesterday, and you definitely could still see some of that glow peeking from beneath your foundation, even though I didn't add any highlighter on top. So I want to try using this underneath my foundation today. We're going to add just a little bit along where I would put a highlighter, just along my cheekbones, a little bit across my forehead, and then some down the center of my nose as well. I think I'll put a little bit on my chin. Basically just the high points of my face that naturally reflect light and are kind of highlighted already. I don't usually love a glowy chin, but again, this one's so subtle. It's a very subtle effect. It's not like a typical highlighter. I just want to show you guys, this is with absolutely nothing on my skin. I don't have anything other than moisturizer on. You can kind of see just that subtle glow that this is giving me, hopefully, even on my chin. This would be such a beautiful product just to make your skin look beautiful and glowy if you don't need coverage. But unfortunately, I am one of those people that does need coverage. So I'm going to take this Sephora 10 Hour Wear Perfection Foundation. I also picked this up during the sale. This is in the color, Linen is the color. So I have just a pump of that on the back of my hand. I'm going to kind of just dab this around the center of my face, across my forehead. I'm just going to take what's left on the back of my sponge, and just with the L'Oreal Beauty Sponge, I'm just going to start pressing that into my skin. For concealer today, I'm going to use my Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. This one is in the shade Vanilla, and I'm just going to take a tiny bit of that just right here under my eyes, a little bit on my upper lip and around my nose, and just on any other spots that I'm noticing. Then I'm going to take that sponge and just kind of tap that in. So you can see this is a beautiful foundation. I really love the finish of this. I would say this is a more of a natural finish foundation, but it has a touch more glow than like a standard kind of satin foundation. Like say the L'Oreal Fresh Wear foundation, that one has a little bit more of a true satin finish. This one seems to have just a touch more glow than that foundation, but still not overly glowy like say the Flower Beauty foundation. So if you don't like the Flower Beauty one, which I do love, if you don't like quite that much glow, this might be a good option for you. I'm not sure if you can tell, I still feel like I'm seeing some of that glow kind of peek through that foundation. I don't know how well you can see under these artificial lights, but I can definitely see it in person. I do want to add just a little bit more though, so I'm going to go back into the Charlotte Tilbury. I'm just going to put a little bit on the back of my hand. We're going to kind of use this almost as I would a liquid highlighter. I'm just going to kind of tap that with my ring finger on top of my cheekbones and kind of a wide spread. Because as I put some other products on top of this, that will kind of even blend it out more, make it look even more natural. But I do think that is really, really pretty. I need to try this out against the Milani one because I like the Milani one as well. I don't remember it being quite as smooth feeling as this one. It seems like the Milani one might feel a little bit more, I don't know how to explain it. Chunky is not the right word. I mean, it's not that the glitter in there is chunky, but it just, when it comes out, it seems a little bit more clumpy. It's not quite as smooth. This one definitely seems more smooth. Can you see it on the back of my hand? That's just such a pretty, smooth, natural sheen. I would say if you are someone that is over the age of like 40 or 50 and you're very, very sensitive to highlighters, like you just do not like to do highlighters, this would probably be the perfect product for you because this is just such a subtle amount of glow. It's not emphasizing any texture. It just makes you look like you are hydrated. So we're kind of doing things a little backwards today because I want to apply all of my cream products first. I do have a bronzer I'm going to apply from Hourglass, but because it's a powder product, we're going to put that on last. I also picked up this blush and highlight duo from Kosas. Jessica Braun raved about this, and the way that it looked on her skin was so beautiful. I had to pick it up because I've really been into cream products lately. So this is the one I have. It's in the shade 8th Muse, which is kind of like a mauve-y neutral colored pink, and then you have this sort of champagne highlight right here. I used the blush yesterday and absolutely loved it. I haven't used the highlight yet. I did swatch it on my hand. It looks beautiful, but I want to use something else for highlight today, so we're just going to go in with the blush. I'm just taking that on my clean ring finger. I'm just going to tap that right on the outer apple of my cheek. I like to kind of concentrate it all right there on the outer apple, and then I'll just kind of tap and work my way back. Now I'm going to take my sponge. I'm just going to tap that right around the edges to make sure we don't have any unblended edges. So for bronzer, I picked up one of the Hourglass Ambient Lighting bronzers in the color Diffused Bronze Light. I went with the mini. I was almost over budget. I decided to go with the mini since I've never tried these before. I have a lot of bronzers in my collection. I have trouble working through a bronzer because I have quite a few, and these are pricey. I've got to be honest though, when I opened this thing up, I knew it was going to be mini. I knew that it was going to be small, but this thing is very, very small. But I know Hourglass products are expensive. There is a part of me that kind of wishes I would have just spent the extra $20, $25 and got the full size. So I'm going to take this on just my e.l.f. Complexion brush. I'm just really going to kind of work my brush into there. I'm just going to apply that, just kind of tap it right below where I put that blush, just on the outer part of my cheekbone. It is very pretty though. A couple months back I did a wish list video, and Hourglass was on my wish list, like something from Hourglass, specifically one of their powders. I was so back and forth on which one to try out first. Initially I was thinking of splurging on their 3-pan ambient lighting powders, but I don't know. I'm not much of a powder person. I don't typically set my makeup. I don't use a lot of finishing powders, so I worry that a product like that, I don't know that I'll end up using it. And so I wasn't sure that buying all 3 of those in a big palette, I think that palette's like $70, would have been a wise investment for me without knowing that I love them first. But I do know that I love and will always use a bronzer, so I thought a bronzer was a good place to start. I do think this is really pretty though. You can kind of see how that just added some warmth to my complexion without taking away that kind of glowy finish. It still looks very dewy, it still looks nice and hydrated. I still kind of have that tack and that dew on the top of my cheekbones. I know some of you guys have tried out some Hourglass products and love some of their products. Let me know what you think their best products are, because I definitely think they're a brand that I would like to pick a couple more things up over the next couple years. So to finish off the complexion, we're going to go into probably, I think, one of the most expensive things that I bought other than the Charlotte Tilbury, and it is the Natasha Denona Super Glow Highlighter. I went with the second shade, the light medium shade. I was worried that the lighter one would be just a little bit too cool toned or icy for me. This one looked a little bit more warm, more champagne toned, which is usually the type of color that I like in a highlight. So we're going to take a little bit of this on just a Luxie highlighting brush and then add just a touch of that to the very top of my cheekbones. Alright, and that is my finished complexion. I think it looks so pretty. These look really, really nice. These products look really nice on the skin. Even in person, I feel like they just look so natural. It doesn't look like I have heavy makeup on. It looks pretty light, pretty natural, but you really can see, you know, the glowiness. You can see a little bit of bronze. You can see some of that cheek color peeking through, but it still looks natural, almost like it's just my skin, which is the best makeup look in my opinion. Alright guys, so I did fill in my eyebrows. I went in with the iconic London brow cushion, which I talked about in my favorites video. I've been loving this stuff. Then I added a little bit of the e.l.f. Brow Wax Pencil just to give them a little bit of texture, and then I set them in place with the ColourPop Brow Boss Gel in the color Clear. So now moving in to eyeshadow. I didn't pick up an eyeshadow palette or any sort of eye products during the Sephora VIB sale, but I almost did. I wanted to pick up one of the Huda Beauty Obsessions palettes. I have 4 of those palettes. They are some of my very favorite palettes, but I don't know if I've ever used one of these in an actual tutorial or get ready with me. So we're gonna use one that I already have. This is the Coral Obsessions palette. This is such a beautiful warm palette. I love the warm summery colors in here, but today I want to do something very, very simple. I really want to concentrate just on this yellow shade right here mainly, and then I think I'm going to take a little bit of glitter on the lid. So something very soft, very lemony and yellow with a pop of glitter. That sounds so pretty. Hopefully execution, it will be pretty. But let's go ahead and start off with this shade right here. I'm going to take it on my Morphe M504 brush, and we're just going to kind of really build that up into the brush. And I'm really going to just start loosely giving my whole eyelid a wash of that lemony color. It's going to be really soft at first, but this color really does build up quite a bit. I want that all the way, almost halfway up onto my brow bone. So I'm just dipping back and forth into this color and kind of just adding layer after layer of this just to really intensify that yellow color. So I think that's about as yellow as I want to go for right now. We are going to add something else in the crease just to add a touch of dimension, but I want to start off by just really kind of placing that yellow color. Two people that I really love to see do looks like this, I think really pull it off well, are Jamie Page. She does such a good job of taking trends and scaling them back so that they're wearable. I love her makeup style. It's very edgy and trendy without being over the top or too glamorous. But I think initially I saw a look like this on Mariah Leonard. She is also so good at this sort of edgy but still natural kind of look. So that's as far as I want to go with the yellow. I know it looks a little bit crazy and intense, but once we add the glitter on top and kind of cover some of it on the middle, and then add liner and mascara, I'm hoping that it will all come together. First I'm going to add a little bit of dimension. We're going to take this kind of peachy brown right here, and I'm just taking that on this is an old Coastal Scents brush that I don't know what this is. It's basically a large MAC 217 brush. And we're just going to apply a little bit of that right into my socket. I'm kind of just circling that in a C shape right there on the outer corner as well. Then I'm going to take one of my favorite lower lash line brushes ever. This is the Juvia's Place small buffer brush that comes in their purple set. And we're just going to add that same kind of peachy brown color and add that right under the lower lashes, about 2/3 of the way in. So now for the lid, I'm trying to decide which of these Stila glitters I want to take. I have this one right here, which is in the color Admiral. It's kind of like a blue with a gold sort of yellow shift. And purple. There's a lot of colors in here. It's very, very much a mermaid sort of color, which kind of goes with my hair today, which might be a little too mermaid. And there's this one, which is Kitten Karma, one of my favorites, but I think this one might be a little bit too neutral. Then there's this one right here, which is the color Monarch. This is one of my favorites. This one's very iridescent. It's a pink base that has a lot of colorful glitter reflex in there. You've got some yellow, some blue, some green, some purple. These are minis that came in the Christmas set. This one right here is called Diamond Dust. That's really pretty too. This one's kind of a warm silver base that has a bit of like a gold, blue, green, a couple different colors of glitter in there. Very pretty. So I think I will go with this last one, Diamond Dust. I think that will go a little bit better with the colors that I have on my eyes right now. So I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to apply it directly to my lid. So I'm just starting there at the inner part and kind of going in about just over halfway. And then I'm going to take that same buffer brush I used on my lower lash line and just kind of buff out this edge right here. I take what's left and kind of pull it over, not quite all the way to the outer corner, just to kind of diffuse that right there. I think that's really, really pretty. Ooh, that goes really good with that yellow. I love that. That was the perfect choice. Now the other side, again, just starting at that inner corner. I put most of the product down there and then I kind of just pull right up below that crease line and about a little over halfway. And just taking that buffer brush just to blend out that top edge. If you need to go in with more, let that set down and then you can kind of fix the shape of it, but I think that looks pretty good actually. So I do want to add some definition to my lashes, so I'm just going to take my Wet n Wild brown pencil and we're just going to kind of start kind of really building that up just on this very most outer corner of my upper lashes. And I will use a brush to kind of shape this. And I'm just softly going in about halfway. I'm going to take that also just right on this corner right here and slightly pull down on like the outer fourth of my lower lash line. Just that very most outer corner of the lower lash line to kind of create that sort of wing shape right there. Alright guys, so there are the finished eyes. I'm very, very happy with this eye look. I think it is so, so pretty. We're going to move into lips now though. So I'm going to go in with this color right here. This is from ColourPop. This is the color Layover. And I'm actually going to take a lip brush, which I rarely do this because usually I just put it on from the bullet because I don't usually have time to really use a lip brush on my lips. But we're just going to try it out today. So that is everything for now. So I'm looking at my complexion right now and I think I'd need a little bit more concealer. I have a lot of redness under my nose because I've had allergies lately. So I'm going to add just a little bit more concealer right along this part of my nose and just anywhere some of those spots have peeked back through. Alright you guys, that is it for today's Get Ready With Me. I am so happy with how this look turned out. I absolutely love how my complexion looks today. It looks very natural to me. It looks very soft, which definitely looks best on my skin, especially in person. I also really love this eye look. I know this wasn't part of that Sephora haul, but I'm telling you guys, if you are an eyeshadow lover, if you're wanting to invest in a high-end eyeshadow but not pay a fortune, definitely look into these palettes. These are so amazing. They're super tiny, but they pack a punch. You can get so much variety with these palettes, so many different looks. The quality is amazing, and I actually think the price tag is pretty good, considering that you get 9 different shades. I don't know which one I would recommend. I love the look that we created with this coral one today. I love the other colors in this coral palette as well, but I also really love the other 3 that I have, especially the Mauve Obsessions and the Smoky Obsessions, and the coral one are probably my top 3 favorites. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video today. Let me know if you guys have tried out any of these products, if they worked for you, if they didn't. Thank you as always so much for watching it, for stopping by. Hope that you guys have a great day. I hope that you will subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see all of you in my next video. Bye.